My dear students, I hope you already read the topics I have mentioned in my previous videos. Today we are going to start the new topic, that is transfer of heat. We will perform an activity to observe the heat transfer. In the activity number 4.6, we have to fix the iron rod as shown and dip the head of the iron nails in the melted wax and then stick them at equal distance on the iron rod. Then light the candle. Wait for a while. After a while, the nails which are close to the candle will fall from the iron first, then the next, and then so on. So, from this activity, we can say that the heat is transferring through the metal rod. We can say that the process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the cooler end of an object is known as the conduction. Or in simple word, we can also say that the transfer of heat through a material by direct contact. Examples: a metal spoon gets hot quickly in a hot cocoa cup, or an iron heats up the material it comes in contact with. Alright, so these can be the example of the conduction process. Let's perform another activity. Suppose you are holding a metal wire for a long time. After some time, you cannot hold it any longer cause the heat is transferred from the hotter end to the cooler end, that is your hand. Do you know it is happening because of the vibration of atoms within the wire. Who are the good conductor of heat? The substances which allow the heat to transfer or flow through it is known as the good conductor. Look, the molecules are vibrating within the conductors. Example of good conductors are copper, iron and aluminium. Who are the bad conductor? The substances that do not carry heat are called the bad conductors of heat. Or we can say they are the insulators. Example of insulators are wool, plastic and glass materials. You have seen that we use plastic handle in case of pans because they are bad conductors or they are insulators. That is why we notice that even though the pan is hot, but plastic handle doesn't conduct heat at all cause it is an insulator. That materials which are conductive in nature allow the heat to transfer through them. If one end of a portion of the metallic body comes in the contact of the heat source, through the process of conduction, the whole body becomes heated. The process of heat transfer in solids is called the conduction. In activity number 4.7, we have to heat water in a small pan or a beaker. Collect some articles such as steel spoon, plastic scale, pencil and a screwdriver. Dip one end of each of these articles in the hot water as shown in the picture here. Then wait for a few minutes. Then touch the other end. Enter your observation in the table number 4.3, that means here. These observations will help you to understand that which objects are good conductors of heat and which are the poor conductors or the insulators. So do it yourself. Do you know that the water and air are poor conductors of heat? Then how does the heat transfer take place in this substance? Let us find out in the activity number 4.8. Convection of heat in liquid. Let us learn about convection of heat in water. Now first of all we have to take a round flask and fix it to a stand. Fill the flask with cold water. Then carefully drop a few crystals of potassium permanganate to the bottom of the flask. Now heat the water by placing a Bunsen burner with a small flame under the flask and observe the crystals. When the water at the bottom of the flask is heated, it expands. The expanded water is less dense than the surrounding water and therefore starts to rise. The cooler region of the water in the upper part of the flask being denser, it will sink. Now observe the colored water rise up the beaker side, go across the top and then sink down the other side of the beaker. It is called the convection of heat in liquid. So what is happening? The cold water in the beaker will be pushed by the hot water to the bottom of the beaker, and the cold water will be nearer to the flame, so now it gets heated and it will continuously happen, and eventually the water will get heated throughout. That's why the water seems to be moving in circles, and in this way heat is transferred from the stove to water and water gets boiled. So this form of transfer of heat by an actual movement of liquid is called the convection. Does the heat travel in air? Let us perform an activity to confirm it. Light a candle and keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. The hand above the flame will feel heated because hot air near the flame rises up due to the process convection. But the hand that you placed on the side of the flame will not feel heated. So we can say that the air above the flame get heated and rises up, and the empty spaces filled by the cooler air from the sideways. These give rise to an interesting phenomena of breezes, and next day we are going to discuss about them. So read this chapter carefully. So thank you, students.